Welcome to another exciting episode of Healthy Food, Happy You. Today's episode is packed full of healthy eating ideas and wonderful interviews. First up, we have two guests from the Science of Spirituality, Deb Bennet and Ron Filewich. I first had the opportunity to assist Deb in the kitchen as she prepared her delicious tofu loaf. So let's check out the fun I had in the kitchen with Deb.
I thought of making a tofu loaf. The reason why we thought of doing a tofu dish is because tofu is a bean, and a bean is a protein, and soybeans is what tofu is made out of, and soy is a complete protein. So oftentimes when you start to become a vegetarian, people wonder, well, where am I going to get my protein from? So tofu is one a place you can get your tofu, your protein.
Okay.
Do 3 should be enough.
Okay.
And the reason why we want whole wheat bread is because it has all the nutrients in it. Oftentimes when you buy white bread, they've taken all the nutrients out. Whole wheat bread has all the nutrients that you need to keep your family nice and healthy.
Okay, so that looks good.
Yeah, if you want to see that.
Okay.
This is the breadcrumbs.
Lovely.
And we just put that in there.
Okay. And roughly how much should just cup and a half of breadcrumbs?
I would say around 2 cups.
2 cups of breadcrumbs?
Yes, which was
okay.
3
three
slices of bread.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to soak them in some liquid aminos.
Oh, okay.
And we want 1/3 of a cup.
Okay.
So we'll just measure it in here.
And I would imagine that the liquid aminos would give it a nice flavor.
Yes, the liquid aminos is like soy sauce.
Okay.
So it's really healthy. And not too much salt, which keeps the family nice and healthy.
And that's surprising. When people think of soy sauce, they think of salt. So that's a good thing to know.
Yes, this one doesn't have any added salt to it.
Mm.
So we're just mixing the...
That already smells great.
Doesn't it? So poultry seasoning has all the herbs and spices that we need for this tofu loaf.
More flavor.
Right, and then what I did was I soaked the onion in water after I peeled it so that it wouldn't make us teary.
Good technique.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And we're cutting that up pretty fine.
Okay. Okay. So Deb, I wanted to ask, how did you become a vegetarian?
Well, when I was about 16, my father was diagnosed with heart disease.
Oh, okay.
And he told the family that he couldn't eat any more meat or dairy, and I found that quite fascinating. Like, what has that got to do with his heart disease?
Exactly.
So that's the first time where I learned that what we eat can actually cause problems. So I thought, well, what should I be eating so that I don't have to, have problems myself? And when I did some research, it just was all leading me towards a vegetarian diet. So I thought, well, I'm going to try this and see what happens. And I tried it, and 25 years later, I'm still a vegetarian. Actually, add the mushrooms here to the pan.
Okay.
And then we'll cook them all together.
Oh, good.
There you go. This is good. Let's put it in here.
That looks great.
There we go. So we can just stir that around a little bit.
Around? Okay.
Make sure that's off.
Now, is there any particular type of tofu that you can use, or is any? Because I do know there's a difference between silken and.
The tofu that I'm using is the firm tofu.
Okay.
If you don't particularly like a really soft kind of texture when you're eating, just freeze the tofu first, and then it comes out a lot more.
Okay. Okay, so this is ready.
So we're just going to put the whole brick in there.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to use a fork.
Okay.
And we're going to just mash it down a little bit. Okay. And this is specifically so the kids will enjoy this. We're going to add some ketchup. Okay.
Well, the kids are important, so I guess the more flavor, the more disguised things are, the more they'll eat it. So.
Right. So we need like 1 brick and a half. So we're going to cut 1/2 a brick here, and then you can
this out your way.
You can bring this and start to mash that into there.
Okay.
Wow. And you know, the texture is just, it just seems to be, you know, very hearty. You know, I have a friend, you know, she's not a vegetarian. And I think more so because there's a lot of misconceptions as to far as food being bland, not being hearty enough. But this looks very hearty.
Yes,
This
a lot
looks
of times people say, oh, you know, tofu has no flavor. Well, that's true, it doesn't. But if you add the mushrooms and the garlic and the onions and things and the soy sauce, it gives it a lovely flavor, actually.
Oh, that looks wonderful.
So we've cut the tomatoes, and we're using these tomatoes to put on top of our tofu loaf so that it doesn't burn in the oven, because the top sometimes burns when it's in there for a long time.
Okay.
But to bring this all together now and make it stick, we need to use flour. And we're going to make our flour out of oatmeal.
Oh,
So we just take the oatmeal and put a little bit in the blender.
and I would imagine that that's another great substitute, binding substitute.
Yes, oatmeal is a wonderful way of binding anything. If you're going to make veggie burgers or anything, just use oatmeal, and it keeps it together instead of eggs.
Oh,
Okay?
great.
And we just need a little in there
Okay.
as a binder.
Binder, okay. And that's not super fines, but does that matter or?
No, it
Okay.
just looks like a little coarsely ground flour.
Okay.
And that's going to be our binder.
Okay. And as you mentioned, people that are allergic to eggs, this is a great substitute as
Yeah,
well.
You don't need any eggs. You can actually make pancakes with this, or muffins, or things that you like to bake with this kind of a flour instead of wheat. There you go. It seems to be
Okay.
coming together.
I know, it's really great.
Oh, okay, that'll be
I'll
great.
Put that in there for you.
Yeah.
And I can, as you know, people can imagine, it's important for food to taste good, but also look good as well. So
Yes.
I think the tomatoes will add a nice little creative touch to the
To
food.
the top.
Okay. Get this all in here.
And just start pressing it down if it's coming up.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh, wow. This is like a vegetarian meatloaf here.
Yeah, that's what it is. And if you want to, you can use the flat spoon or that just to press it down
Okay.
as hard as you can.
So, Deb, now how long should this stay in the oven?
We're going to put it into the oven on 350 for about 30 to 40 minutes.
Okay.
And we're going to squeeze it down so when it comes out like a piece.
Oh, look at that. Very festive.
Yeah.
How can we get in touch with you guys? How can we become a part of the followers, so
The
to
Science of
speak?
Spirituality.
Yes.
We have a website. It's SOS.org. And there you can click on centers and find a center in your area. And it tells the time of the meeting and when we meet and all the things that are going on in that area.
Okay.
So I'd say just go to the website.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Healthy Food Happy You. We would like to hear from you. Our website is www.healthyfoodhappyu.com. Send us your comments as well to info@healthyfoodhappyu.com. You can also join us on our Facebook page, Healthy Food Happy You. And remember, eating healthy is the key to a happy life.